Guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about inner child integration. There is a tool I use in my sessions, which I will be telling you about in this video, that integrates moments in moments. And I can't really teach you guys how to do this, but I can teach you aspects to help yourself integrate these aspects of yourself, but also to understand why this is mandatory when we're healing our deepest patterns and our deepest wounds. Watch this video. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the subscribe button, the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. I just want to mention, I have added this new option to my website. All my links below are for one-on-one sessions, group coaching, the Truth Room, which is my membership, and now we've also added inner child channeling. And this is something I've been a little quiet about because it sounds weird, doesn't it? But as I healed my inner child and my spiritual gifts really anchored in, this one started getting really ramped up in the last 12, 13 months. And so now I offer it because it just happens to me momentarily. And I was doing a reading in my Truth Room this morning for a new client who came from Romania. He's never been with us before. I never met him. And I immediately jumped in because I can tell someone's energy if they're open to it. And of course, I'll ask if I know it's going to happen. I'll say, is it okay if I channel your inner child? And they're always like, yeah, because they've seen me do it before. And so I channeled his inner child, and he was stuttering a lot. And he said, I created this stutter for myself when I was 6, and immediately I got the hit for attention, right? And he goes, I did it to get attention. And then immediately I looked at his body, and I could see on the left side behind him was this energy, and it was a male energy. And I said to him, on your left side, it's male energy that you did this. This is a father wound. You did this. There's a male involved. And he's like, yeah. And I said, okay, so here we go. And I start writing because I can see it coming out. And he said, I'm astounded at how accurate that was. And I said, why? He's like, I don't know you. He goes, I've seen some of your videos and I felt like this was the place for me. He goes, but honestly, I just had a healing session. I think it was a massage that he had last week. And he said, she spent forever on my left side telling me that all the symptoms in my left side are because of my father wound. And I go, I can't make this up. This is how it happens for me. I all of a sudden get hits and feelings and I see it and I digest it and I speak it because I trust it. And I said, I'm going to tell you something though. You didn't start it at 5. You started at 4. You started it before the age. Sorry. You didn't start it at 6. You started it before the age of 6. Your 5-year-old is the one that decided I need to figure this out to get something, right? To get the father energy, to get fathered. And he said, yes, right? So I said, also, he had this wall behind him that had all these handprints, like a kid. And I said, I just see you going, Dad, 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 Dad. And he's like, yes, that was me. I go, no, it still is you. So this is why inner child integration is so important. And this is what you can do for yourself. I said, it still is you because you're still using this coping mechanism of stuttering to get Dad's attention. But you're in your 20s now. And you need to give yourself that attention and that permission slip to be heard clearly to yourself. So not only did this inner child channel, and we went into it more, not only did that initial connection, he said, give him that validation he needed that he was right, but it now allows him to trust himself. Because when I can see into your reality without knowing you and you're having the same reality, you now know that you are right and you can trust yourself. And I said, your assignment is to trust your inner child. And together we're going to unblock your channel so that you can stop stuttering. And as soon as we feel safe as becoming better parents to ourselves as our parents were, as soon as we realize that we can give ourselves the permission slip with gaining this self-trust to allow ourselves to get rid of the coping mechanisms that we had in place to survive. We can't survive without Dad's attention when we're a child, right? We think. But you can now. And now the stuttering is getting in the way of your next level, which is shining as an adult. And see, that's what happens when we don't do the inner child integration. So what he's going to have to do is we're going to have to do some inner work to talk to the 6-year-old, to give him evidence that it's safe to actually speak and not have to stutter and not have to do that to get attention, negative attention. But instead, it's okay to give himself positive attention, to gender the participation of his own purpose, to wake up, to actually share, probably with the world in a healing way, how this aspect of his voice is so powerful now. Because when we learn to heal ourselves from our own self-induced coping mechanisms, we learn to be in our power. But a lot of times people like you, if you're watching, who don't have an inner child integration, you're not integrated, you're not one yet, right? It's separate. And I'll tell you how you know that. But if it's still separate, you still don't feel safe not needing that. You still think that your inner child needs the father. But what we can understand is it is safe to not need that. In fact, it's so safe to not need that. It's so safe to know that you're enough on your own. But it's so hard for you to believe that until you got that from the parental unit. And so one of the meditations I did in my group today was do this in your meditation. Don't do this out loud. In your meditation, put a mirror in front of your face and look at yourself in the mirror. And notice what you see. Notice if you have resistance, if you have excitement, if you're confused, if you're frozen, if you feel nothing. And then a few moments later, bring in the face of God, whatever that is for you. So your reflection of God. See God watching you watch yourself. And see how that changes when you know God, your creator, whoever that is for you, is watching you observe yourself. Do you feel like all of a sudden there's a permission slip to see yourself as more beautiful? Do you feel bad because you don't see what he created or he or she created? Do you feel interested that you actually get to see more of yourself the way that God sees you instead of the way that you were conditioned to see you? Take that in. That'll tell you a lot about how you're seeing your inner child. It'll tell you a lot if you feel separate from your inner child. You call me and my inner child, us, me, we. How do you relate to that inner child with language? And the next thing I want you to do is look back into the mirror. Remember, this is all a meditation with eyes closed. Look back into the imagined mirror at yourself. And then notice whatever parent is most triggering watching you watch yourself and see how that image changes. Notice if what comes up is shame, fear of shining, fear of loving yourself, fear of not doing it right, fear of not seeing what they're seeing. If you feel pressure of having to see yourself the way that they see you, notice that. This is an indication of what needs to be healed in your inner child. So take that in. So just as a reminder, Inner Work 1, Healing Inner Child Wounds, is starting again March. Inner Work 2, Healing from Abandonment Wounds and Trauma Bonds, is starting in February. Check those out. If you want to do an inner child reading, check out my website. If you want to do a group healing, check out the Truth Room. It's only $47 a month. It is a monthly membership. You can exit at any time. You can cancel it. You can freeze it. You can do whatever you want. Or you can show up and watch this happen. So I hope you guys will share this video with at least one person who you think it could help. I hope you guys subscribe if you haven't already. Please go over and check out Instagram because I'm doing daily reels on these topics. Please make sure you watch this video and the shorts around this video because they will be popping up momentarily. I love you guys. Oh yeah, I forgot. New merch. We've got a ton of it, so check that link below, my Teespring account. And I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.